Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete our slider portion and also we complete our mega menu, right? Now in this video I want to discuss about our top navigation. Here that should be one of the navigations. How we can create this navigation in this video. I will show you that things with a live example. Before do that work I want to do here there is a category portion I want to do and to actually make this category up that should be before in our product collection. So later we'll also add another footer for this project. So let's do that work. For doing this, so I hope you already know what exactly the things we have to do. Just simply go to our parent component, that is our pages, and that is our home pages, right? So into the home pages you can see there is a category. So I want to take this category, I cut it and I want to take it after that new arrival and before that collection. So I simply load this component, that is our the child component. Now click as a save all, and now if you go, now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see now that is product collection and before that is our category. So now that is actually locative, and later we will also add some of the footer in particular that area. So now let's work for our top navigation. So for the top navigation there have actually two parts. If you go, I have already created some of the file, that means some of the component. In our components there is a common components. You can see there is a nav menu for the desktop, and also we have to create another nav menu for the mobile, right? Step by step I will do that work. First of all, let's work for our desktop. Here our procedure will be same. First of all, I want to take that our fragment. So that will be as a fragment. I simply loaded this fragment, which is totally fine. For the navbar, if you go to that React Bootstrap, so there is a React Bootstrap. If you go to that components or getting started, whatever the places you want to go. So now into the component area, they have one of the navbar I want to use. So you can see there is a navbar. So if you select this navbar, so into this navbar area, like there is one of the navbar. If you want to add this, there is our navbar portion. There is our another one is a brand portion. So friend, I will create one of the navbar, one of the custom navbar. Okay, we will create this navbar as per our demand. For the reasons I want to do, I want to simply only take that our this navbar. Okay, so this navbar will be enough. I don't want to actually take everything. I only want to take this navbar. Here I simply copy this navbar portion. I copied, and now in our project, so that is our fragment, and after that fragment, okay, after that fragment here I want to paste it. So that will be our navbar. So now if you also, when you use that as a navbar, we have to also import it. That means here we have to import this navbar. I want to import this navbar. Okay, there is a navbar, and that will be comes from our which place? It will be comes from the React Bootstrap, right? So that is our React Bootstrap. So make that sure you load it. Now our this navbar should be activated, and you can see the navbar is now highlighted right now. If you now click as a save all, I want to check it. So if you want to visible this navbar menu before this, right? Before this here I want to do and to load it. So if you want to load it, we have to go to our pages. So that is our home pages. Into the home pages before our home top, I want to do and to load our this nav menu desktop. So I simply want to do and to load that nav. Okay, nav. You can see that nav menu desktop. I simply select it, and now that will be automatically loaded. And that is our navbar menu from our components and common folder, and that is our nav menu desktop, right? So now that is successfully loaded. So now that should be display. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, now click as a refresh this project again. It's showing as a container is not defined. Here I'm actually using the container. You can see I didn't load this container. Pretty much simple mistake. So in our nav menu, into the nav menu, I have already loaded that navbar. Also we have to load this container. So now I want to load this container. Okay, after this I want to load it. This container also will be comes from our React Bootstrap. I hope you already know about it. So now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. Yes, you can see our navbar menu is successfully loaded, right? So it's now successfully loaded. And also I want to make this that should be as a fixed. Okay, when you're scrolling down, then that should be display. If you want to do that work, is simple work like in our navbar, into the navbar position I want to make it as a fixed. Okay, fixed, and fixed that should be fixed in our top position. So I make it as a top. Okay, that will be as a fixed top. And now if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, now click as a refresh, So now that should be as a fixed. You can see now that is actually fixed. Perfect. And also here we have to add some of the spaces, right? That is actually go through our this navbar menu. Here if you want to do that work, I want to add some of the class. So after that, okay, after that here I want to take one of the div. So I want to take one of the div, and here I want to finish this div after this navbar. So that is our div started, and that is our navbar is ended. I want to paste it. So here I want to create one of the class. I only want to add some of the margin top. So that will be as a class name. Class name, and I want to create one of the class name as a top. Okay, top section down. Whatever you choose. So right now I name it as a top section down. This top section down now I want to create. So I want to create it. If you go to that is our CSS, into the CSS, I have also created another CSS. Maybe you can see there is a nav menu desktop. So to the next menu desktop, here I want to create one of the class, that means this class as a top section down, and here I only want to use that on the margin top. So margin top, that margin top here, that should be after this, right? So that will be as a margin down. I want to use it as a margin and down. Okay, margin, that is margin bottom. So that is a margin bottom. So I want to use that margin bottom as a 80 pixel. After that, automatically it should be add some of the margin bottom as 80 pixel. So now let's check this out. Click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, perfect. You can see 80 is not enough. I want to make it as a 70. Okay, 70 pixel. Now click as a save all, and now refresh it. 70 pixel is good. Okay, 70 pixel is good, and also you can see it's now fixed. So when you're scrolling down, our menu is successfully visible. That means it's now fixed in our page. Great. So now friend, I want to customize it. Okay, here I want to add some of the CSS, I want to add some of the logo. So step by step we have to work on it. So for doing this, that is our nav menu desktop. I hope you understand that dev part. And now there is a container. So right now we don't need this. We will actually create different things. So that is our container, and there is a container. So now I want to load our into the container. I want to take 3 row. So it will be as a row. I loaded this row. I loaded this row, and automatically you can see our row is loaded in here. And also I want to load one of the column. So there is a column. So I simply loaded this column, and also our column is now successfully loaded. Perfect. So now there is a container, and here I want to take actually 3 row. Okay, that means a 3 column, 1 row, and then 3 column, 2, and then 3. First part here I also want to grid it. That means what exactly it should be. Take this grid like for the column, as I told you before, every column they have the 12 column, right? So every row they have the 12 column. I want to segment it. Like as I'm for the large skin, it should be as a 3. That means 3 parts. So 3 part means that 4, right? That is 4, 8, and then 12. And also for the small size, for the small skin, I want to make it as a full. That means a 12. And also for the medium, I want to use that as a medium. For the medium, that will be also as a 4. And for the extra small, that means the XS. XS means extra small, and for the extra small, I also want to make it as a 12. Okay, so that will be our grid for making this as a responsive. So that is a 2, and also that is a 3. Perfect. So I simply take 3 of this. So now one by one we have to add everything. Like in our first position, okay, into the first position I want to load one of the images. That means our logo should be displayed. If you want to load that images, I think you already know that is the image tag, right? So now you close that image tag, and then that will be the src, and into the src area here we have to load that image. If you want to load that image, I have already created one of the image, and that means a logo for if you go to your exercise folder. As I told you, after end of this course I will share this folder to you. So now there is our website address, and if you go to, there is a slider images, the images, you can see that I have created one of the logo as a very simple one of the logo as easy shop. I want to copy it. I want to take it in our project. I copy it. Now go to our project, into the project, there's the src, into the asset, the images. Here I want to save it. Okay, so now first of all we have to take it. I want to do, so that is our here I want to import import that things from our which place. I first of all have to do, I have to name it. I name it as a logo. Okay, that will be as a logo, and it should be comes from our which location. First of all, here we have to go outside from our common folder, then we have to go outside from our component folder, then the asset, right? So now I want to go outside first folder, and there is our another one as a second folder, and then you can see there is asset. And after that asset, that should be as a CSS, not the CSS, images. Into the images, that is our images name. I name it, if you go to that images, I name it as a shop, easy shop, right? So that will be as easy shop.png. I name it as a easy, okay, easy, and then shop.png. So that will be our image. Now I simply take this image and name it as a logo. So now I want to display this logo in here. Okay, so now our logo should be displayed in particular that position. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you go to our side, now click as a refresh. Perfect. You can see our logo is now successfully visible. And also I want to make it as a fluid true, then that will be actually our full wide. For the container, I want to update this part, so that is our container, and into this container I want to make it as a, that will be as a fluid, okay, fluid ID, sorry, that will be as a fluid ID, and fluid ID I want to make it as a true, right? So that will be as a true, so I make it as a true. So now that should be in our total place. Now click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh. Yes, you can see now that is actually our full wide. Right, friend? I hope it's very much clear to you. Step by step, here we have to do a lot of work. Here if you want to add some of the link, you can also add that link. So link should be comes from our which place? It should be comes from our React DOM, right? If you go to that React and React router, that is our route. So if you go to that React route, and that is our React route side, if you go there, if you want to use some of the link, I have already discussed about that things with you, then you have to use that as a link, right? A link will be comes from our React router DOM. So now I want to first of all import it. I copy it, and then here first of all I want to import it. Right now there is a browser, router, switch. Here we don't need this, I only need that link. Okay, I want to take it as a link only, so that will be as a link, and here I want to make it into the same line, then that will be easy. Okay, so I make it as a only link. It will be input link, only take that link. It will be input link from our React router DOM. So now if you want to add that link, and that will be just like that same, I copy it. Okay, copy it, and then here I want to put some of the link, and link also we have to finish it. So now that is our link is finished, right? You have already completed the basic fundamental. I think you already know about it. So that is a link started, and to our which one, I just put it in our home directory. Okay, so into the home directory, now that should be link up into the home directory, and then that is the images, and that is our link is ended, which is totally fine. If you now go and click as save all, now go there, that is our project. Now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see it's now perfect. So there have nothing to changes, everything is looking great. Okay, friend. And also for the navbar, I have created some of the CSS. I want to add this CSS. If you go to this I want to take it, there is a navbar desktop. For the navbar desktop, I have already created this section. Now I want to take again everything. Okay, I take everything, and after end of this video I will push this code to the GitHub. You will get all that CSS. So friend, that is very much basic, all that CSS. Okay, it is basic, all that CSS. I hope it will be not hard for you. It's very basic. So for the reasons here, I don't want to write down this code. I don't want to spend your valuable time. Okay, so now I copy it, and now I want to update some of the CSS for this. Like if you go to that asset, and to the asset, and that is our CSS folder, and that is our navbar desktop, but I paste it. Okay, so that is the same name as the top section down, which is totally fine. And for the nav logo, you can say I have used that logo, one of the wide and height. So I want to use this class for our logo. Now if you go to our navbar desktop, so right now we don't need this. I close it, I close everything. Okay, so now here I have used one of the logo, right? So here I want to use this class, so that will be as a class name, and class name I want to use it. I want to use this class name as a nav logo. So now automatically it will be get this. Now click as a save all, and now if you go and click as a refresh, Perfect. So now you can see it's perfectly into the same position, which is totally fine. And also I want to do in our neighbor, okay, into the neighbor area I want to add another class name. Here I want to use another class name that I have created as a neighbor. Okay, so this neighbor I want to use, so I copy it, so here I paste it, so that will be our neighbor. So this class I want to use it in here. Now click as a save all. So here also you have to do a lot of work. Here I want to add some of the search box. Here I want to add some of the icon for the login and some of the notification icon. Okay, so step by step we'll do that work. Right now everything is working perfect, so that is our neighbor. Okay, so better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will actually customize our this neighbor. How can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.